our honorable board of examiners, Dr. Noha Nejim and Dr. Asim Al-Haj and myself. We will start as usual with the 3 minutes as an introduction to yourself, Hanan, your work, your experience, your education. Then you have 15 minutes to complete your work. Your main examiner is? Who's your main examiner, Dr. Asim or Dr. Noha?
Dr. Zahir.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Hanan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First, I have encouragement and study journey in this university, and I would like to thank my colleagues also in this university. I'm Hanan Hussein At-Turk. I'm the director of the Ministry's office at the Ministry of Transport in Jordan, former director of the Media and Communication Skills. I have master's degree in business administration from Ahl Bayt University and baccalaureate degree in business administration from Arab Open University. I'm now a doctoral student and Doctor of Business Administration in International American University. My objective is to leverage my research finding to implement strategic management in enhancing the employee performance at the Ministry of Transport in Jordan and enhance the public service too. The title of the research is The Impact of Strategic Management on the Efficiency of Employees' Performance in the Ministry of Transport in Jordan. Through my work in the Ministry of Transport, exactly in the Minister's office, I noticed that the strategic management is very vital and play an important role in development the performance of the employees. The strategic management through formulation, strategy, and implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and environmental scanning affect employee performance at the Ministry of Transport in Jordan. A problem statement. The Ministry of Transport in Jordan is vital in shaping the transport policies and representative the country internationally. Also, the problem is the lack of the empirical studies or previous studies which talk about the impact of the strategic management on the efficiency of the employee performance in the Ministry of Transport. The purpose of the study aims to assess how strategic management, environmental scanning, strategy formulation, implementation, and monitoring impacts employee performance at Jordan's Ministry of Transport. Objectives include evaluating the effect of strategic management on employee efficiency, identifying key factors influencing performance, understanding its significance for government ministers, and highlighting the importance of the employee performance efficiency. The research questions: what extent do the Ministry of Transport in Jordan implement strategic management practices? The second question: what is the importance level of the efficiency of employees' performance in the Ministry of Transport in Jordan. Question number 3. Is there an impact of strategic management on the efficiency of employee performance in the Ministry of Transport in Jordan? The hypothesis, there is no statistically significant impact of strategic management. The components or the dimension is the strategic implementation and strategic formulation, evaluating and monitoring, and the environmental scanning. The impact of these dimensions on the efficiency of the performance of the employees. There is one major hypothesis and four sub.
Go back, Hanan, go back. Let me see again the hypotheses. Again, go back. Another one. Yeah. You talked only about one. What about the other? And what do you mean by environmental scanning?
The environmental scanning, which is the evaluate the external and internal environment in the ministry, and to monitoring and evaluating the external environment, internal and external. And this is the major hypothesis, and this is the divided for hypotheses.
Okay, go ahead.
Skip, Doctor. Skip.
Go ahead. Continue. خلاص.
Okay. The literature review. In this chapter, we show the previous studies and the theoretical foundations and empirical studies related to the my research topic, and it shows the concept of strategic management and the dimensions of strategic management, the definition of efficiency of employees' performance, and the gaps in existing knowledge. Finally, the theoretical framework. Gaps in existing knowledge. The study aims to address a gap in the literature by examining how specific dimensions of strategic management impact employees' performance efficiency. Research on the Ministry of Transport in Jordan is limited. Particularly regarding how strategic management affect employees' performance. Finally, there's a gap in understanding how strategic management contribute to sustainable long-term improvement in employees' performance. The theoretical framework. This is my own theoretical framework. Here we see the strategic management in the top. It is the independent variable, and it is based on the Whelan and Hanger model. And here we see the components of the strategic management, 4 components, and the effect on the employee performance. Under that, there is the factor which lead to the efficiency. I didn't want to talk more to save time, Doctor. Case study. This is a similar or near-list case study according to the variables of my study. The strategic management and employees' performance, the case of local government employees in Ascension in Paraguay in South America. The background was the local government unit of Ascension. Methodology, the research used a quantitative, descriptive, correlational approach. The finding, the study finds effective strategic management, especially enhanced the employees' performance in this local government in Ascension. The research model, independent variables and dependent variables. The dimensions of the independent is the 4. We talked about it before. And the dependent variable is the efficiency of employees' performance. Research methodology and data analysis. We use the quantitative descriptive methodology and collect data analysis in this research, and causal research approach. And we use the SPSS. The population was 240. The sample was 149 employees in the Ministry of Transport in Jordan.
You have 4 minutes maximum. 4 minutes.
Okay. Analysis techniques, the descriptive analysis means and multiple regression normality test. This demographic analysis, after analysis the answers of the questionnaires. Normality test, here we show that we see that the skewness is between -2 and 2. So it is the normal distribution. The mean statistics for variables is very high. So it means that it's close to agreement and high in respondent. The answers of the questions I will skip because this slides we will brief all the research, the result and outcomes in this table according to the R and R square, according to the significance of the variables. The outcomes, I want to concentrate about something. The ministerial turnover impact is very important in my outcomes, because every minister or each of my ministers has an own impression or vision and direction and priorities. So this is cause confused to the employee performance and motivations. Conclusion, here we will highlight that effective strategy monitoring and evaluation and strategy formulation are very important for improving employee performance at the Ministry of Transport in Jordan. These strategic practices significantly enhance organizational efficiency and alignment with objectives. but environmental scanning and strategy implementation didn't show a significant impact, suggesting the need for further reinforcement in these areas. The recommendation form a specialized team for environmental scanning and enhance the strategy formulation, developed green action plans, and implement the feedback mechanism, allocate sufficient resources. Theoretical recommendation for researcher: explore the impact of the environmental scanning on the employee performance, and study the interplay between strategy formulation and employee engagement to understand how strategic clarify influences, motivations, and performance. Analyze the impact technological advancement on strategic management process and outcomes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you, Hanan. Thank you very much. I'll go with you over, say, 10 minutes over your work. Please, whenever you answer directly, specifically.
Okay.
First of all, that's very nice, but let me clarify a few points with you. First of all, how many employees do you have at the Ministry of Transport?
240 employees and managers in the ministry.
How many directors? How many have you studied the organizational structure of the Ministry of Transport?
Yes, I studied the structure.
You have it? Do you have
Yes,
it?
Yes, I have it.
Okay, and during your study, you tested the strategic plan, the existing strategic plan, isn't it? You have a strategic plan, or you presume that there should be an effective strategy and you should examine it?
No. In fact, I noticed that there is outdated management, and there's
Hanan, we agreed that you answered directly. Do you have a strategic plan at the Ministry of Transport? Yes or no?
Yes.
From which year to which year? 2020 to 2025?
From 4 years, from 2024 to 2028.
Your study was based on the effectiveness of this strategy, isn't it? Or you presume some other parameters from other researchers?
In fact, I saw another studies and previous studies, which is related to
Hanan, my question is very simple. Did you base your study on the existing strategic plan of the Ministry of Transport, or an imaginary parameters that are driven from literature review?
No. From the strategy plan in the ministry. It's based on the strategy of the ministry.
Okay. And what are the environmental parameters? You said that you reach a conclusion that environmental scanning or environmental parameters has no effect on the performance. Can you tell me what do you mean exactly by environmental scanning? What are these parameters that you were able to scan and you reached a conclusion that it is not important and does not affect the performance?
Environmental scanning is the process of monitoring and evaluating the external and internal environment, both, and to inform.
Okay, first of all, Hanan, from English point of view, there is a word called mentoring which is إشراف, MENTORING, and monitoring. You mean monitoring. So don't use mentoring. It's two different words. Because it's a core issue.
Monitoring,
what are the external environment that you rejected in your research? You studied and then you said it's not important. What are these external environment parameters? Describe it to me. Tell me what it is exactly.
The external environment of the environmental scanning is the climate, the social matters, anything outside the ministry.
Okay, what was you will discover in a while that this is not the case. This is not what you've tested. Okay, what about the internal environment?
The internal, opportunities and the threats of the internal.
Can you quickly take me to that question in your questionnaire that covers the external and internal environment, which have led to the exclusion of this element when it comes to the effective performance? Quickly, swiftly. Don't show it to me on the screen. Just tell me which page it is and read the question.
Okay. Doctor, page number 52.
Yeah. Read it, please. Read it loudly.
Okay. The ministry assesses its internal strengths and weaknesses concerning available resources and capabilities. Also, the question number 1, the ministry regularly monitors changes in the external environment, political, economic, social, technological, that may affect its operations.
You started, you give me stories, has nothing to do, an answer that has nothing to do with your questionnaire. The external environment, as you said, political, economical, what else so when you said the environment, the climate, and the friendship, it has nothing to do with the external environment. So, okay, what about the internal environment? The next question, please.
Internal environment, the ministry, number 8, the ministry has a dedicated team or department responsible for environmental scanning.
Internal, I'm asking you where is the question that tests that is the internal environment. Show me the same as you did with the external one. What is the internal one?
Number 7, the ministry utilizes various sources, reports, database, industry, expert to gather environmental information. This is the resources in the ministry internal.
Yeah, Hanan, there's a huge difference between environment, البيئة والمية والهواء والكاز، هذا ملوش علاقة، والenvironment. Environment by itself is a vague word. It is like an umbrella for everything. But when you talk about the work environment, you said that political and economical factors like the external one does not affect the performance of the employees. I would say, without going to and asking anybody, it does affect how on earth political and economical parameters would not affect the strategic plan, which is based on the budgeting, on the planning, on the process and the constraints, on the political dimensions and economical dimensions, and then it will go to directly from that strategic plan, which was based on the environment environmental factors outside, and it would go and affect the performance of the employees. So there is a relation. You through a very, I would say, unacceptable conclusion that in external and internal environment has no effect. This is not. Those they have effect. And maybe the way you put the question to the sampling or to the population that you've asked was not clear to them. Okay, my next question to clarify this point. When you took the sample, was it for day-to-day employees or for the managers, directors? Because I've asked you at the beginning, do you have the organizational structure of the ministry? You said yes. Have you asked the managers, the heads of the departments, or a clerk working in a corner somewhere in the Ministry of Transport?
The questionnaires was a random sample for the managers and employees and the head of sections.
How many managers? How many managers? Did you do what we call clustering? Out of 100 managers, we took 10. Out of 200 employees, we took 20. Out of 200 heads of departments, we took 30. This is what we call clustering. So have you done the clustering, or you just put them in the mixer, blender, and then you give us this juice?
No. The demographic analysis shows that...
Hanan, whenever you answer, don't say no at the beginning. Whenever I ask you any question, you say no. So I don't know what is the no on earth. Do you mean the first part or the second part? From now on, don't use the word no. Yes, maybe a little bit better to have yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is the managers and employees and head of sections between the my sample in the population.
How many? You did not get my question. How many managers?
30 managers.
Out of how many? How many managers do you have?
We have the population.
How many managers? How many directors do you have at the Ministry of Transport? How many ones?
How many one? 50 managers.
So you took 30 out of the 50?
Yes.
Okay. I know that time is tight, but I'll finish in 2 minutes. When you as your colleagues, you escape always from the direct citation. Please add some direct citation. And you talk about the Ministry of Transport. Have a section in your methodology called the case study. Tell us about the Ministry of Transport, number of employees, the structure. When was the strategic planning done? And you have to send us a copy, by the way. You send me a copy of the strategic plan and tell us, and be careful. This you have to add it. I'll make sure that you add it in your work. Where are the elements? In which page of the strategy? What are the pages in the strategic plan that you took those parameters and then you threw it on the performance of the employees?
Okay.
Okay, I'm done. Lots of things are remaining, but I leave the floor to my colleagues. So it's up to you, Dr. Nuha or Dr. Asim, which one you want to start. Go ahead. And microphone, Dr. Asim. And I have an expectation that we'll say ladies first. I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure.
I said it already.
So, go ahead, Dr. Nuha. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Great minds think alike, Dr. Asim. Great minds think alike.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. تفضل يا دكتورة.
Hanan, well, Professor Zahir said most of the comments I already had, so I will just say point out that in your dissertation on page 14, you've mentioned it's stated out there that the last process of the strategic management is the evaluation and control, which affects on the performance. Well, in my understanding that in order to evaluate a strategic plan or any change, you have to test it on the employees. You have to apply the change and test the effect on their performance, and then conclude if it, according to the monitoring and evaluation, if it improved their performance compared to the previous one or not. Did you do that?
Yes, doctor, I do that. Comparing the results.
Yes. Have you applied a strategic plan and monitored or assessed the impact on the performance of the employees in the transportation, Ministry of Transportation?
Yes, the Ministry of Transport.
Or did you
yes.
take their opinion about a new strategic plan or a new procedure that would be applied and how they think it will affect their performance?
Yes, doctor. You mean that before doing the dissertation or while doing?
Yeah.
I didn't catch the question.
In your dissertation, you built your conclusions and recommendations on a questionnaire survey that was distributed to the employees, right?
You're right.
What was the objective of this questionnaire? Was it to check the performance, to evaluate a performance, the impact on their performance, the effect of a new strategy that was applied on their performance, or a new one that would be presented and you gather the information about their opinion about it?
No, the previous one.
I just want you to explain to me what is the objective of your survey.
The objective to assess the importance of the impact of strategic management on the efficiency of the employees in the Ministry of Transport, and also to express the dimensions, environmental scanning, and the implementation, monitoring and evaluating, and the implementation.
Well, what you've done, Hanan, is that you collected the information, or you took their opinion about that imposed strategic plan. In order to test the performance or the impact, you need to apply the new strategic plan or whatever change you're applying, and then evaluate and assess the effect on their performance. It's not done by asking the employees themselves. It's done by going through a specific criteria and examining the impact, if the performance was improved according to that criteria or not. In your opinion, what's the main criteria or indicator that would tell you if the employee's performance has improved or not due to the or according to this the implementation of the new strategic plan?
The result was that there is no significant impact of the strategic implementation, so that we see that there's no strategic team in the ministry to implement this strategy and to achieve the goals.
Well, obviously, Hanan, if you take the opinion, or if you survey those workers, they would tell you that it has no impact, because they would evaluate their work to be the best. They don't need improvement. They don't need clearly, or usually, they do not have any idea what you're talking about. That's the problem with the sample that is or the target group that you study. Now, I don't know, but the point is, using a questionnaire is a very critical method in collecting in research methodology. It has to be done with clear objective. You don't have strategic management, as you've mentioned. There was no strategic plan in the Ministry of Transportation, which I really doubt. It should be there, but it's not done in a scientific way, maybe. But it would be hard for them to recognize that what we're doing is called strategic management. Okay, and in order to test or evaluate the impact on the performance of employees, this has to be reflected in specific criteria in order to judge the success of the plan or not. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, that's clear.
So you need to set specific criteria about what's about the performance of employees, and how would the strategic plan affect that performance. That's from a very general point of view. Okay? And please provide a background on the Ministry of Transportation in Jordan. And in the title, I would suggest that you write the performance of employees instead of employees, apostrophe S, and performance. Yeah. Okay. And the floor is yours, Professor Asim. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, Hanan.
Hello, Doctor.
Thank you for the presentation and the effort you put in your work. Look, I like to start from the title, because I think the title is the key. You know, the title brings everything together. Now, you say the impact, so you are measuring the impact. So you need to show us that measure of impact. It's not enough to say that there is impact or there isn't impact. We need to measure the impact. How much is the impact of strategic management? Now, the other point is strategic management. So we need to understand strategic management, and you spoke about efficiency on performance. Now, my question is, first of all, you said that you based all your work on the strategic plan of the ministry from 2024 to 2028. Now,
Yes.
How can you measure the impact? And it is all based on 2024, 2028. You should base it, to measure the impact, you should base it on 2020, 2024. So what do you say about that?
Doctor, thank you for your comment. Doctor, there is a strategy for long term and there is a strategy short term. So I based on the strategy long term. It is updated in this year from 2024 to 2028.
Yeah, fine, but how do you measure something that hasn't finished? You know, the impact means, when you say the impact of strategic management on the efficiency, it means you're actually seeing the fruit of introducing a methodology, introducing a system, you want to see the impact. So before and after.
Yes, to measure
now we are in 2024, right? So we just started the 2024-2028 strategy term. How can you can't measure that impact? You need to measure the impact from before.
You mean the previous strategy?
Yeah, of course. I mean, to measure the impact, I need to measure from what happened, not what is going to happen. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I really read through your references, and I think I read maybe about 25, maybe more of them. I did not see one title that makes a reference to impact of strategic management to the efficiency of employees' performance. Not one title. And I think, and if I go through the rest, I'm sure I will not find. Because it's a tricky combination, actually. I mean, why did you decide to do a research on the link between strategic management? It's good. I'm not saying the idea is really good. I like it, but it's very tricky. And the fact that it is not in the literature at all, it poses a question. But how did you decide on that you want to research this particular area?
Okay, doctor. The strategy, it's is a set of plans, okay, and the performance and one of its plans, to development the performance. So this is related to the strategic management performance. Always related to the strategic management.
Yeah, but I'm saying, how come it is not? And remember, only talk about the performance. You're talking about the efficiency of the performance, which is even finer than the performance itself. You're talking about the efficiency as well, which is even more trickier. And I'll ask you how you measure the efficiency. So, but how come none of the? Can you find one or some references that talk about this particular issue in some detail?
Okay, one reference.
From memory, because this is your main topic. So,
I have.
I think maybe the only one I saw from you is called hunger, but does hunger is called the
Will and Hunger.
Will and Hunger. Any others? And is what we see on the screen? Is it coming from Wheeler and Hunger, or it's you constructed that yourself?
Yes, doctor. According to the Will and Hunger, the components only, the components of the strategic management, and then
what about employee performance?
This is from me, my own model, and this is the factor under lead the performance to the efficiency. Empowerment, trust, engagement, communication, motivation.
So how did you measure efficiency and the performance? Look, you talk about strategic management and the impact of strategic management on efficiency. So how did you measure that impact, the impact of strategic management on efficiency using your survey? How did you do that?
according to the mean, we measure the impact with the questionnaire. According to the questionnaire, the result, if the mean is in high level, so the
where look, Hanan, it's not enough to say according to the questionnaire. You have to tell me that I've asked 5 questions, 10 questions about this issue, and these questions are 1, 2, 3, and this one I was able to measure efficiency by answering, by getting the answers on this question. Something, and give me something more specific.
Okay, doctor.
Dr. Asim, I think time is up.
Okay.
So if you want to go for another 1 minute, okay.
Well, if I can get the answer, I will be happy. Honestly, I mean, this was another issue was asked by Dr. Zahir, Professor Zahir, about environmental scanning. I still don't see the relevance, the strict relevance of that to what you have, to your topic. But it's essential to answer the question about how you measured efficiency using the questionnaire. I have doubts on if the questionnaire is able to measure efficiency. How can the questionnaire, you ask questions to measure efficiency? And people ask people, does strategic management improve your performance? They might say yes, they might say no, but that's not enough. We need figures, we need real, facts showing that efficiency has improved, the productivity has improved, time-wise, saving-wise, things like this. Questionnaire will not be enough to cover that. If you have if you have a response, I'm listening and I'm done.
Yes, doctor, please. In the questionnaire for the efficiency of employees' performance, there is question number 14. Employees in the ministry demonstrate problem solving and critical thinking skills. I think the problem solving and critical thinking skills related to the efficiency of the.
Yeah, but how does that relate to strategic management?
Which is related.
How do you relate that to strategic management?
According to the if there is a problem in implementing the strategy or solving the problem, we should have an efficiency to solve this problem.
Okay, I'm done, Dr. Zahir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Asim. Thank you, Dr. Nuha. We will have, I would say, our session deliberation for the result of your presentation and your discussion, your viva, and we'll come back in a few moments. So stay around, please. Salam.
Okay.
Dr. Asim? Okay, that's good. All right, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. After our discussion as a board of examiners, we have raised so many issues with your work, Hanan. First of all, you should be very clear on the way you handled your work, on the parameters that you've selected, like the environmental parameters, then the wording, like the effective strategic management, what is effective and what are the components of the strategic management, how you connect this to your actual strategic management. You talk about the current strategic management, what are the components, the main features, the main outcomes, and then you go and connect it to your work. Then you talk a little bit about your Ministry of Environment and how it is run, how it is tackling the strategic management, and then you stick to the title of your work. We noticed that the outcome of your work is not directly connected to the title. It's like getting something from here and there. So we've decided, all of us, to give you a pass with major corrections, so that you will have some time to restructure your work and make it to the fit work. And the reason we've given it the pass, because you've done a lot of effort, but we need to find and to see this effort organized. Congratulations for passing, and wish you luck. You have to follow up with me as a main examiner so that we make your dissertation in a better way, but you have to work very hard with me in order to finish that. Dr. Asim?
Thank you very much, Professor Zahir. I agree. First of all, the topic is very interesting, and I agree that topic has not been researched in such depth, or in a particular way. That's why it's very interesting and very good. It's a good choice of topic, but if you have selected so many dimensions or so many aspects or facets to this topic that makes it complex. And that's why you really need to navigate through a well prepared roadmap. And I think if you revisit it with this roadmap, you'll do very well. The slide shown is a good reference to how you can actually make it work. So it's good. I think the issue of measuring, we always talk about impact and measuring of impact, and then we end up not measuring the impact. With something like this, it's not enough to measure. You cannot just measure efficiency through a survey. You need to do more on that. You need to. You are in a ministry. You have to speak to people, interview them. Okay, ask them questions, get information from the ministry about from year to year how things are they improving because of this strategy and so on. So lots of things to put together to reach a really fantastic conclusion. I congratulate you for passing and all the best. We'll end up with a really good.
Dr. Noha, any comment? Thank you, Dr. Asim. Dr. Noha, any comment?
I just want to congratulate Hanan. You've done a strong effort in your work, and you just need to, as the professors have mentioned, it's so distracted. So you need to focus on one thing and one dimension, and that will help you in reaching a valuable strategic plan that could be realistic and could be implemented in your ministry, and that would be would be really good in improving the performance. Good luck, Hanan.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations, Hanan. Wish you all the luck, and inshallah, it will be an asset. You will be an asset to the Ministry of Transport. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor.
Do you want to say anything, Hanan? Any statement?
I would like to thank you, Prof. Zahir, and Dr. Noha and Dr. Asim, and I will do the best, inshallah. And my husband and my son want to see you. My husband and my son.
We want to see.
Let us see them. هاتي. روز.
شكرا دكاترة. شكرا.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام. أهلا دكتور.
مبارك تخرج حنان، دكتورة حنان. إن شاء الله يجعلها في أولا خدمة لبلدها ووطنها ودينها، والأخت حنان أخت مثابرة جدا، ربنا يوفقها. ومين الأمور اللي جنبك هذا؟
أنا عبد الرحمن، الله يعطيك العافية يا رب.
مين عبد الرحمن؟ تقرب لي.
عبد الرحمن ابن حنان ترك، ابن الدكتورة حنان ترك.
ايوه صلح
جامعة كمبيوتر ساينس.
يلا مبارك الله يوفقك جميعا.
الله يبارك فيك. الله يبارك فيك. شكرا دكتور. شكرا
دكتور.
يلا
مع السلامة.
Okay, our next student is Muhammad Daham, I think.
Yes, doctor. الله يعطيكم العافية.
I'll give you the one moment. I'll give you the floor, the presentation. Muhammad Daham, Muhammad. You are a presenter now, Muhammad. Go ahead, upload your work. Your main examiner is? افتح المايك يا دكتورة نهى. دكتورة نهى افتح المايك.
معك يا دكتور. معك يا دكتور.
تفضلي. اوكي ثواني. Let me start the recording from beginning. طبعا your main examiner is Dr. Asim, and he will be in charge of the beginning. One moment, just run the other recording. Yeah. Okay. Again, we welcome our board of examiners, Dr. Asim Al-Haj and Dr. Noha Najm. Our next doctorate student is Muhammad Al-Daham. He will have 3 minutes to introduce himself, to talk about his qualifications, experience, and so on, and then 15 minutes for the presentation. Then the main examiner will cross-examine Muhammad, then Dr. Noha and myself. We hope to finish in 1 hour all of these with the decision. So the floor is yours, Muhammad. Go ahead. You have to upload. Have you uploaded your work or not yet?
والدكتور يحمل بس لسه ما.
تمام. Okay, 3 minutes for your bio and then the presentation. Go ahead.
First of all, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, let me thanks my member committee, Professor Zahir, Dr. Asim, and Dr. Noha Health. And I work as a director of a comprehensive healthcare center in Amman, and also manage a private medical complex. My title, The Impact of Organizational Culture on the Quality of Healthcare Services in Primary Healthcare Center in Amman. study background. A well-established organization culture can influence, can significantly reduce operating costs compared to its less developed counterpart. People join organizations with diverse belief, attitude, and approaches, highlighting the importance of cultivating an effective corporate culture to enhance the healthcare quality and employee engagement. And the government primary healthcare centers are a crucial component of the public health system, particularly in their role in humanitarian effort. These centers rely on effective leadership to cultivate an organizational culture that not only nutrient leadership skills, but also benefit the society at large. To achieve a high quality to achieve a high quality rely on effective leadership to cultivate an organizational culture that not only nutrient the leadership skills, but also benefit society at large. To achieve high quality healthcare services, it's essential to establish an organizational culture that's based on solid institutional foundation, informed by a diverse range of scientific disciplines. This approach is necessary to ensure that the health services are delivered effectively. When we talk about the problem statement, the quality of healthcare services in healthcare center is a critical issue that requires immediate attention. Despite being the first point of contact for the patient, these primary healthcare centers often fall short of meeting the high expectation of the patient, who anticipate exceptional outcome from the healthcare provider. This shortfall underscores the urgent need for the Ministry of Health to prioritize the enhancement of this culture among employees as a key strategy for improving the quality of the healthcare services. Also, while the previous study have examined the impact of this organizational culture and the quality management, there is a gap in this research, specifically that addressing the influence on the quality of the health services in this healthcare center. This lack of focused research has created a significant knowledge gap, highlighting this necessity of investigation from the organizational culture and what's the relationship between this and the quality of the healthcare center that are provided for the patient. We used a mixed method approach here, quantitative and qualitative study. The quantitative problem statement, the study hypothesizes that organizational culture, including the sub-dimension and the quality with its sub-dimension, what are the relationship? And here we used an instrument, international instrument, cervical instruments, and for the qualitative part, the qualitative aims to gain a deeper understanding of the dynamics between the culture, engagement, and the quality in this primary healthcare center. Gaps in the literature. Here, the first one, this research fills the gap in the literature by focusing on the developing country context. In the literature, when we're talking about the quality and the culture, I think it raises in the developed countries more than the developing countries, and the attraction of the quality and the culture and the organization in general, even outside the healthcare section, started in 1960 in the industrialized countries. And here we focusing on the developed countries. And the second one, it contributes to broader the understanding of how the organizational culture impact the healthcare services quality in this primary healthcare center. And the mixed method approaches offer a comprehensive view, combining quantitative data with qualitative data insight to provide a more nuanced, comprehensive about this concept. Research question: research question of the quantitative part. The first one, it's asking about the relationship between the organizational culture with its subdimension, involvement, consistency, adaptability, and mission, and healthcare service quality with its subdimension, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, empathy, and tangible in this healthcare center. And the second one, how does employee engagement mediate this relationship between the organizational culture and the quality? And the third one, do this biographical factor as age, gender, tenure, and marital status moderate the relationship between these key factors, organizational culture, employee engagement, and the quality? And when we go to the qualitative section of this research, the first one, how do healthcare professionals perceive the influence of organizational culture on the quality of the services delivered in these centers, and what key cultural factors facilitate or hinder employee engagement and its impact on service quality? And the third one, how do contextual factors specific to Amman healthcare landscape shape dynamics between the culture, employee engagement, and the health quality services that are provided? Theoretical framework, here we use two model or two instrument for this to assess the relation: the Denison framework and the Serve-Qual. Denison Serve-Qual, it's an instrument that see the organizational culture as a four trait or four dimension, and then it's subdivided to internal and external. It's developed in 1990, and the Serve-Qual instrument for to measure the service quality with its 5 dimension. It's developed in 1988 by this man, and it's the American viewpoint about the quality. And because the literature has two point of view about the quality of the services, the Nordic and the American viewpoint about the quality of the services. And when we talk about the analysis techniques that are used, we use the descriptive and inferential statistic analysis, where then using the SPSS, and qualitative data was used that are gathered through semi-structured interviews, administrative medical directors and medical professional practitioner. We use the thematic analysis. And field case study, the scope of this study is confined to a primary healthcare center in Amman. The research focuses on examining the interplay between the organizational culture, employee engagement, and service quality within this specific context, while finding may have broader implication. The study is geographically limited to Amman and may not be directly applicable to other regions without further investigation. And here, the limitation of this research, the scope of this study is confined to this healthcare center in Amman. This research focuses on examining the interplay between the organizational culture, employee engagement, and the services quality within this center. And also the delimitation of this study. The study includes the selection of primary healthcare center as the setting of the data collection. This choice was made to ensure a focused and manageable study scope, but it inherently does not include secondary and tertiary healthcare facilities. Additionally, the study concentrates on the perception of the employee and does not consider or cover the patient viewpoint also. And the finding of the study, section rewards and acknowledgements and creativity play a significant role in fostering adaptability within the organizational culture. A robust reward system can enhance employee staff adaptability and the level of engagement of the employee. The second one, personalized attention and understanding client needs are crucial for improving the service quality, ensuring that healthcare professionals are bullet knowledge and also section C, non-specific or no significant intercorrelation between the subdimension of the organizational culture and the quality of the healthcare services means that change in organizational culture does not directly impact the quality of healthcare services, and we must pay attention to the employee engagement as it enhances the organizational culture and will indirectly enhances the quality. And also new outcome, this mixed method approaches employee in this study provided a comprehensive understanding of the dynamic between organizational culture, employee engagement, and healthcare quality, while the quantitative data revealed limited direct relationship. The qualitative data offer deeper insight into the contextual factor and underlying mechanism influencing these relationships. This integration underscores the complexity of the interaction between these constructs and highlight the necessity of considering both quantitative and qualitative technique. The conclusion. When we talk about the conclusion here, we talk about first one, the employee engagement. It's vital for the employee of the primary healthcare center to have a positive perception of the organizational culture and for the entire personnel to be fully engaged. This means that the selected healthcare center should implement policies to engage employee and to develop a positive work culture to attain quality healthcare services in primary healthcare center. Also, communication play a significant role here. Management should communicate with the employee to clarify the objectives and work duties. However, the study shows that there is no link between the culture and the quality in primary healthcare center. This interferes that paying more attention in the role of the organizational culture and giving attention to its dimension and not enhances the quality of healthcare services. Recommendation also at the level of the organizational culture, adaptability, encourage collaboration and creativity among employees to foster adaptability, create spaces for open dialogue and employee input in decision-making processes. Mission, clearly communicate the mission, vision, and strategic direction of healthcare center to all employees, reassess and refine organizational culture to align with this goal. Also, at the level of the involvement, develop program to enhance employee skills and involvement, ensure that employees understand their impact on the organization and provide continuous investment in their development. Also, consistency, promote ethical behavior and a strong moral code through training and workshop, foster effective communication to resolve conflict and build a cohesive culture. Offer dedication, offer advanced training and development opportunity to make jobs more meaningful and challenging, set achievable goal to motivate employee, and vigor, provide financial incentives and recognition to maintain high energy level among employee, create a supportive work environment that addresses emotional and professional needs and absorption, ensure employees have access to significant resources and good working conditions, promote work-life balance and professional growth. Recommendation for further study at the level of comparative studies, encourage collaboration and creativity among employees to foster adaptability, create spaces for open dialogue and employee input in decision-making processes, expanded scope, clearly communicate the vision, mission, and strategic direction of the healthcare center to all employees, reassess and refine also and decision-making, additional variable develop program to enhance employee skills involvement, ensure that employees understand their impact on the quality and employee engagement, inverse relationship, promote ethical behavior and a strong moral code through training and workshop, foster effective communication to resolve all conflict. And cross-sectional studies promote ethical behavior.
Your time is up, yeah, Muhammad. Your time is up, yeah, Muhammad. Khalas. Thank you.
Okay, Doctor.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Muhammad. The floor now is with Dr. Asim, the main examiner. Wish you good luck. Go ahead, Dr. Asim. Go ahead.
Thank you, Professor Zahir, Dr. Nuha, and Muhammad Thank you, Muhammad. I like the presentation, but I think you should have included and I want to make clear, Muhammad sent the presentation to me, but I did not actually comment on the content, because we leave the content to the people to present. You should have included some of the graphs in that are in your dissertation, some graphs that helps you in explaining the findings, and show the findings and explain them. Anyway, let's start again from the title. Again here, quite very similar to what we had earlier with Hanan. You're measuring the impact of organizational culture and quality on quality. Now, so what I want you to explain to us, how did you measure the impact? I want to understand what is organizational culture. This is, when people talk about organizational culture, there isn't a one definition for organizational culture. Organizational culture vary between one organization and another. In this setup, in healthcare centers, tell me what organizational culture is there.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor, about these comments. Organizational culture, it is a universal concept and broad concept. It's show that it's a shared vision, attitude, belief, and behavior that held up within the organization. And I think also organizational culture make identity for the organization, and it's differentiate one organization from the other. Okay, and organizational culture also it's give how this organization will achieve these goals. And I think that the organization of any a culture of any organization, it's like a human being, it's like a child that grows up within the time, and it is get the experiences, and it gets the values and belief over the times, and from the employee, from the any visions or authority or laws that coming up and regulations. But I think the culture, it is as a human being that grows up within the time, and it's me getting better, and it's me diseased, and then get well over the time. And I think the main sources of the organizational culture, it is the founders, or it's the like the Ministry of Health. We said that that's giving the laws and rules that will control the processes and procedures within any organization. And to talk about how to measure this, the impact, okay, I think the main purpose here is to know what's the culture within this organization, and what this culture what's the quality of this culture. Here we used doctor instruments that are international and used in many studies previously to assess Self-Equal. It's widely recognized instrument that use the quality through 5 traits: tangibility, reliability, reassurance, responsiveness, and empathy. Anything, Doctor?
Can you give me examples of culture in the healthcare space?
Yes, sir. I think the way in our hospital and in primary healthcare centers in Arab countries, how we deal with the patients and with the clients, maybe we said it's different from the Western part. Here, I think the social cultural will affect how to deal. It's recommended or not. It's relative or not. Here,
sorry, tell me more, because I mean you mentioned here the Arab culture and the Western or outside. Tell me more about this. How do you differentiate?
I think from my work in health organization, the main issues that we facing it as a manager or director or as a practitioner is the relatives, the recommendation, is the call. This patient you must take care more than other. No standards. Here we facing in our organization here. While in Western countries or in outside Arab area, I think is ideal or standard.
Dr. Muhammad, this is about the people's culture. What about the organizational culture?
Yes, organizational culture. I think, Dr. Asim, our organization affects many issues, like physical facility. It's lack of many physical facility and the distribution of the this is culture, and the professionals and or the staff that are present in our organization also have a culture. Also, there are miss or lack of the equal distribution between the organization, and this will impact negatively in our organization.
Now, is there a benchmark, when you compare organization culture in Jordan or compare organizational culture worldwide? Do we have a benchmark, a best practice, somebody to look at?
I think, Doctor, at the level of Jordan, in recent few years, we create what's called the accreditation council to follow the quality and the services that are present in our organization. But the idea is still new and need more time to give standards that we can compare this quality and the culture within the organization.
Yeah, but globally, do we have a best practice, that this organization or this hospital or this country has the best
I think
culture affecting quality? Remember,
I think, Doctor, it is standards that's different from one country than other. The standard of the quality that are present in USA, I think it's different from that present in Yemen or in Lebanon or in Jordan, or so that when we make a comparison, I think it's will not be fair.
Yeah, but worldwide there must be standards and there will be comparison. Like
yes,
they do ranking. Do we have a ranking system for that?
The cervical instruments, it is, I think it's the most widely used instrument for the quality of the services in the healthcare facilities that are used.
Okay, in your research question 1, it talks about the relationship between organization culture and quality.
Yes.
Tell me about this relation. How do you make that link between organizational culture and quality?
Here, Doctor, we found there no significant relationship between the organizational culture and the quality directly. But when we use no, yes,
sorry.
No.
So your finding says that there is no relationship?
Yes, no direct relationship between the organizational culture and the quality. There are more reasons for that, Doctor. I think the primary or the key element of any organization, it is their employee and their staff. Here, when you get a professional staff that are highly trained, highly educated, well training, and this will reflect positively by good engagement within this organization, and this will reflect on the quality and on the organizational culture.
So you think there is no impact between the organizational culture and the quality? That's all. How do you explain that? In your opinion, do you agree with this finding?
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor. I agree with that because from our organization and from the healthcare center that I directed, there are many roles. There are equipment. There is a facility of the culture, and there are the principle of culture, but not applied. Here the problem, and this will impact negatively on the quality of the services provided to the patient. While if you got a good engaged employee, this employee, there are a good incentives system, good reward system. This will obviously exclude it positively and the quality that are provided to the patient.
I find it difficult to accept actually that the culture does not affect quality. I mean, can you give me examples on that? I'm sorry to stick to the point, but can you stick to this issue because I find it a little bit difficult. Yani, my understanding of culture is that people, the way they behave with the patients, they behave towards themselves. There's also a culture of skills development, continuous learning. That is a culture. So how come if that is part of culture, then that culture should impact quality? If my culture is continuous learning and updating my knowledge, then that should directly impact on quality of the service.
If I'm highly educated and well training, and there are no any motivating that could be that push me to provide good quality for my patient, this will affect negatively.
So there is impact.
This will affect, yes, doctor.
So there is a relationship. You say there's no relationship between the organization culture and the quality.
No, doctor. I mean employee engagement is the key that mediate this relationship.
Okay. But how did you measure the impact? You say there's no impact. But anyway, how did you measure that? How do you know that there is no impact? How did you measure that?
I measured this through models about the organizational culture. There are a Denison model. These models measure the organizational culture with its performance. This is international instruments that are widely accepted and used, and it's validated and used for many studies.
Yeah, but how? Yani, through that model, what section of the model you've used? Tell us about it. Yani, not everybody knows about the model.
Yes, this model is widely recognized framework. This consists of 4 traits: involvement, consistency, adaptability, and mission. These traits have been linked to performance and effectiveness making. By
which part of the model measure the efficiency? Or the impact?
Measures the efficiency. I think, Doctor, impact. Yes, I think the involvement, adaptability, it will affect on the impact. How this employee will involve in this work and on these tasks that are you have to done it.
I'm still not clear about. I didn't get a clear answer, Muhammad. I'm asking how did you measure the impact through the survey? Yes. There must be, you have asked questions, certain questions, you got answers, and those answers gave you that result. So what are these?
Dr. Asim, we are approaching the end of the...
no problem.
Doctor, there are this Denison this Denison model that assesses the organizational culture through these 4 triads have made already 22 questionnaire that's international and validated that measure the organizational culture and its effect on the performance.
Okay, one final question. This Denison,
Yes.
Denison, you say is 1990, so that is what, 34 years ago, right?
Yes.
Do you have, any discussion, feedback on the Denison system or model? People have, it's international, it's recognized, but even if it is recognized and international, some people have their own views about it. So what do researchers and the critique of this model say about it? Do they accept it as it is? They say it needs to be changed, improved, because that's 34 years ago, and things have in the medical sector, things change drastically. So how come it's still applicable as is?
I think, Doctor, every models, there are many models about the organizational culture and about the quality of the services that are provided. It should be reformed every regular periods. I think it's not covered. It will not cover all dimension or all triads because the concept of culture is broader and vague.
Okay, just one point, and I think I made this point to you before. Didn't actually. It's not reflected in your dissertation. In the review the table of content in the dissertation. Chapter 3 as a title is not there. Chapter 5 as a title is not there. So
okay,
go back and check on that, please. Thank you. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Noha, thank you, Dr. Hassan.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Dr.
Mohammed, what do you mean by employee engagement?
Employee engagement, it stems from Maslow's work on employee motivation. And it is a multidimensional concept that motivates employees to perform better and achieve organizational goals. And it's reflect employee opinion.
Muhammad, just in simple words, from your understanding, can you just explain it simply to me? What do you mean by employee engagement?
Okay, it's the concept that considered how this employee motivated to achieve their duties in a proper way within the organization.
So engagement in decision making, right?
Yes, not in decision making, in everything that's related to the mission or the task that the employee should be done.
Would it differ from one position to another, like you as the head manager of the center, the nurses, the etc.? Would the engagement level differ from one party to another, one position to another?
Yes, Doctor. Thanks. I think the nurses or the first line that contact with the patient or a client, you must receive or take all the comments that are facing. That is, from this point, the change of the organization for better, it will start it. You must, as a manager, hear from the nurses that contact with the patient and the doctor that contact with the patient and take a feedback and take the views and opinion in the decision-making process.
Exactly. So you've said you must. Then it's not optional.
I think if you want,
it's not optional, so it's not up to the employee to be engaged or not. If the management has a good strategy to to engage the employee in decision making or in the management process, then they should be participating or actively
yes, Doctor.
Engaged. Okay.
Sorry. Yes.
Then employee engagement should, in that prospect, be related to the quality.
Yes.
Then the results that you have reached in your dissertation does not actually make sense.
No, Doctor.
There is no relationship between engagement and quality.
No, Doctor. Not employee engagement. When the employee engaged, it will affect on the organizational culture, and this indirectly, as a total or the general, will impact on the quality the services that are provided to the client or to the patient.
Well. That's really vague in your conclusion, because you've mentioned that there is intercorrelation between engagement and culture.
Yes.
They both have no relationship with no significant relationship with the quality.
Directly. Yes.
Yeah, it's what you've mentioned in your abstract, that there is no, it's very limited. The relationship is very limited. So why would you enhance it if it's very limited?
I think, Doctor, employee engagement, it is the factor that will have a positive effect on the organizational culture.
Yeah, that's what makes sense. That's what other studies found. Then.
Yes.
Okay, in my opinion, in my identification to I don't know. It doesn't seem to be a reliable result. I think the result is the reason is that your sample of 15 participants is not enough to give a reliable result on the relationship between the factors or the dimensions that you've mentioned. If you increase the amount, if your sample size increase, I'm pretty sure that you will reach different results.
Okay.
Because that would be really unexplainable to anybody if you tell them that there is no significant relationship between culture and engagement and the quality reached, the quality of service. Let's give it another try and enlarge the sample, expand it to another 2 centers, health centers, and let's see what you've reached.
The 15 for the qualitative part of the research and quantitative 145.
Quantitative?
Yes.
Well, but your overall result was that there is no relationship.
Yes.
Okay, so and that's the 15 are the experts, those who you've interviewed for 30 or 40 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's expand it. Let's see if a larger sample would give the same result. Because the quantitative here doesn't actually seem to be giving I don't know, reasonable result. Okay, so you need more supportive a methodology in order to either support your result or otherwise. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, Professor Zahra. I'm done here. Mike?
You're mute.
Okay, in the chart in front of us, the theoretical framework used, you've got the parameters for the organizational culture from Denson, 1990.
Yes.
Why is that? There are so many other factors that are not included in here. So why did you stick yourself, or why did you pick this? Because in research, whatever we approve to take, it has to be, I would say, logical. There is a logic behind it. So what's the logic behind choosing the Denson one and the Servokial one? Providing that it's a little bit old, this 1988, and you could have used much, I would say, more recent parameters, more than this 5 elements in the service quality. So what do you think?
Yes,
why
Dr.
is that? Why is that?
Yes, Doctor, thank you. First of all, it's give a comprehensive coverage. It's cover a broad range of cultural attributes, providing a holistic view of the organizational culture. The second one, empirical validation.
This is not Muhammad, this is not an answer. You should pick 2 or 3 theories talking about the organizational cultural parameter, then you pick your own, or you pick one of them and make justification. So just add as a justification in your part of the methodology or of the model that you've adopted, and tell us why you pick those, because you've compared it with X and Y, and we found that this is the best. Sometimes you compare them and then you say, okay, Denson has forgot to include extra factor. Okay. Let's go to the Denson one. Under Denson, you have, one moment, please. You have adaptability, mission, consistency, and involvement. And under each, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have you tested all the 13 sub criteria for this? Every single criterion mentioned. Have you tested it in your research? And yes. For example, when you say customer focus under adaptability, what is the relation between this and the service equality, the 5 elements of the service equality? Can you give me the mind map of how you connected to the other side, and what part of your questionnaire you were able to do this on your analysis? Sorry.
Yes, Doctor, thank you. I take the 4 triads, okay, that this Denison used, and every triad there are 6 questions about the triad or the sub divided part.
My question was very clear, so answer me clearly. Don't swim. Go ahead. You are asking you how did you connect the customer care under adaptability with the 5 elements of the service equality? Tell me where. How did you do that? And which part of your questionnaire covered, or your work, your analysis covered this part? Don't talk general. Talk specific, please.
Yes, Doctor. Adaptability about this part. I think the external environment it's play a role and how to adapt the changes from the external environment. This it's the ability to cover the external threats that coming to the organization. I think the empathy. You need the doctor example or what?
No. My question is very simple. How did you connect that part? Pick any part. Okay. You said here customer focus under Denson. It's being put under adaptability. How you connected the adaptability to the service quality that I mentioned? Just tell me how. Where in your analysis you cover? This is your theoretical model. Your base of work is this one. Okay, we agree. Nice one. First of all, we have to have you selected Denson and serve qual, and then how did you connect each part? It's a very critical issue in research. How would you connect involvement, for example, and the team orientation with the involvement? How you connect it to the service quality? What is the relation between this and the tangibilities? You know what I mean?
Yes. First of all,
quality when it comes to specific parameters.
Yes, Doctor. Adaptability, first of all, it is the ability to identify and respond to external environment. Is that how we deal with the external environment that may affect the organization, and this will link it, for example, for the empathy. إنه how I
Muhammad, can you tell me how on earth you got that wording external environment? Where is the external environment in your whole research? What do you mean by external environment? You are talking about organizational culture, and you have decided on the parameters. Okay, you said Denson is the reference. What is external environment in your model? What is it? Tell me. External focus is something different from external environment. So don't mix the issues here. I'm very specific. How you measure those when it is connected to the service. I've selected one. Tell me how you measure the adaptability when it comes to service quality. Adaptability is a culture of the organization. And being service quality like tangibles or empathy or assurance, whatever, it's a product for the service quality dimension. How you connect the first dimension to the other one.
Yes,
just very simple answer. How did you connect this? And tell me where in your thesis, in your dissertation. Okay, I'll leave this. It seems that you don't have an answer, or maybe you are stressed a little bit. Okay, I'll talk in 2 minutes generally about your thesis. First of all, you've missed following the APA. In direct citation of BA, we do not say, for example, Al-Azzam 2015 and then defines empathy. No, defined, and then there is a comma, and there is a quotation after that, after the quotation. So please go and redo the APA. Make sure it is there. And the margins around your work is 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. In your work, it is not 1 inch from every side. It's in the top and bottom, maybe 1 inch, but the side is 3/4 of an inch. So be careful when it comes to this. The recommendations that you put at the end, actually, it's very serious issue when you come and then you become, I would say, a philosopher putting recommendations for the whole world. It does not work this way. There is a very I would say big mistake in understanding what is the recommendation. Recommendation, it comes for further research, mainly further research, further work to be done. Not recommendation on how your model will be applied, because if this is the way, or this is your answer, you have to shift it to conclusion. So I would ask you, one moment, to shift your recommendations to the conclusion and make it part of your conclusion. One moment, I'll tell you what I mean. Yeah. Okay. This is recommendation. You say adaptability, encourage collaboration and the creativity. Who said that? I do disagree with everything that you've written here. How would you convince me? You have to tell me according to X part of my research, according to Y part of the literature. This is what we have agreed upon. You cannot say this because you are not a research philosopher. You are a researcher, and we need you to put everything documented. Move all of these in a nice flow chart, nice logical model, nice technique, nice mechanism, and move them to the conclusion. This will enhance your conclusion. When it comes to recommendation, make sure that you give us what do you think of the future research. Actually, I don't want to go on and on, but this is my, I would say, main issues. You have to connect. You have, first of all, to talk about the case study in a more clearer way in your dissertation. And then you have to tell us how you connect X with Y, X parameter with Y. So give us, usually we put all the parameters in a flow chart on the rift, and all the other parameters on the right, and then we connect them, and then we write with that arrow, this was connected through 1, 2, 3. And you have to tell us why you selected Denson. I'm not convinced. Convince me. Why on earth is Denson? Why do you go for something 1988? 1988 is something you talk about, how many years? 35 years, maybe? 36 years. Yeah, my PhD was 1989. So it's 35 years. It's too old. I'm too old, and your research is too old. So be careful. Give us something more. Recent. But you have to convince us. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Dr. Asim. Any concluding remarks so that we can go for the?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay, Muhammad, we will convene, the examination board will convene, and we'll see how we can judge your work. Thank you very much. Stay with us. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
دكتور محمد، كيف حالك؟
أهلا يا هلا، أنا دكتورنا، شلونك؟
كيف حالك؟
الله يسلمك يسعدك.
يعني أنا ما زلت أذكر الله يرحمه والدك.
لا الله يرحمه. وين؟
والدك مدربي، أنا ما قلت لك يمكن هذا الكلام.
لا حياك.
والدك مدربي في سلاح الجو رحمة الله عليه. ويعني كان من أقرب الناس إلنا، ويعني شوف ببداياتنا يعني زمان قديم جدا، لكن لغاية الآن ما زال يعني ملتصق بذاكرتنا جميعا. يعني
الله يبارك فيك. الله يبارك فيك، الله يعزك. أنا المعلومة لو قلت لي يا زمان. الله يعزك يبارك فيك.
أنا مبسوط إني يعني قاعد أحضر مناقشتك اليوم، وإن شاء الله ربنا يجيب الخير وتكون موفق بإذن الله.
الله يبارك فيك. نحكي إن شاء الله، نحكي ضروري أشوفك.
وإن شاء الله إني أشوفك وأجيك بإذن الله.
حياك دارك، تشرفنا. الله يبارك فيك. الله يسلمك.
السلام عليكم.
Okay, let me resume the recording. One moment. Okay, we convene again to deliver our decree, our decision on the dissertation and on the viva made by Mohammed Daham. The main examiner, Dr. Asim Al-Haj, will have the floor now. He will have the mic. Go ahead, Dr. Asim.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much, Professor Zahir and Dr. Nuha. We discussed your effort, Muhammad, and like maybe what you sensed in the viva and the defense. We have some concerns about the results itself, because some of the conclusions or the findings you reached do not match common sense. By common sense and by experience and by practices that we know of, what you said is a bit away from that. Is actually a bit far. So what the conclusion we reached is that we reach a decision of pass with minor corrections. So congratulations for that. But,
Thank you.
But well done. Well done. But really, the minor corrections are heavy corrections. Yeah, they are a little bit towards the heavy side rather than the easy side. So we really need to we'll work together. You and I will work together to make sure that you check some of the the model, you use the literature as well, the analysis. We go back and check on the analysis, expand on the sample you have used, and see the impact on the results, because we believe the impact, the results should be different, and it's not what you have reported. So we want to make sure, because that is this is international. This is going to be in the hands of everybody in the world. So we want to make sure that this is very we are confident about the results we put out to the world. So we will work together.
Thank you.
Inshallah, in order to improve what you have submitted.
Okay, Muhammad, first of all, congratulations. What you have to do is to go over this recording, put all the remarks, and then Dr. Asim will make sure that you do it. The main important part is that you were not able to connect the different parameters using the research instrument that you have at hand. Dr. Roha?
Congratulations, Muhammad. Inshallah, by following the guidance from Dr. Asim, your work would be much enhanced. Congratulations, all the best.
Okay. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
All right. Do you have anything to say, Muhammad?
I'd like to thank you Dr. زاهر والدكتور عاصم والدكتور نهى، ونشكر الدكتور زاهر اللي كان له الفضل بالحصول على هذا الإنجاز، وإحنا في بيوتنا وإحنا في أماكننا. كل الشكر، وندعو لأهلنا في غزة إن شاء الله ربنا يكون معهم وفي قلوبنا. وحاب أشكركم جميعا.
يا رب. آمين. يعطيك العافية. شكرا حبيبي. Okay, our next student